Hi guys, welcome to the video I am most excited to make, and this is everything I knit this year. It's a lot. It's a lot. It took me a long time to do the short for it, so I'm not going to try on any of the stuff in this video. You can go watch the short if you want to see them all put on, because this is probably like the most amount of stuff I've knit in a year. I'm gonna slow down next year, but without any further ado, let's get this thing going, okay? So I dismantled my closet again for this. This is gonna be interesting to put back. Okay, so the first thing I got is this Pomona sweater. And this is a pattern you can find on Ravelry. I'm gonna link all the patterns below. I also made a matching hat with this, which, hold on. I don't know where that is right now because there's just like a big pile right here. Maybe it's over here. Okay, whatever. When I find it, I will show you. But so this is worked from bottom up and then it's steeked. And so I knit the smallest size and I ended up running out of yarn of the main color. So I had to order another color, well, the same color. And so I bought this Rama garn in Norway. And I was like, oh my gosh, I called the store that I bought it from too, to see if they had an extra one in that dye lot. They're totally sold out, and now the manufacturer changed to a different formula. And so I was just like, I knew it was a long shot, but I was calling around some stores in the US and they literally had the same dye lot. I got so lucky. But yeah, get an extra ball. I told the pattern designer that, so maybe she'll update that. But yeah, I would get an extra ball and then you can make a hat afterwards. But yeah, I was so happy that they ended up having an extra ball of that because I would have been cooked without that. Okay, next one is a scrap yarn project from the Rowan Midwinter Blanket. So I got these patches that I sewed together with my scrap yarn and did everything here is 100% scrap yarn. Did the sleeves like this. But yeah, I was really happy with that scrap yarn project. The whole time I was doing it, I was kind of like suspicious of how it was going to turn out, but I think it turned out really well. So I'm going to throw these all in a pile in the back so you can see it pile up because this is getting too much. So this is the first knit I made in the year. I actually carried it over from last year, like the very end of last year. It's a porcelain vest. And I got this, I think it's like superwash merino wool from Australia from Morris & Sons. But I was trying to make it into the full-length sweater, but unfortunately, I don't think it was turning out very well for the drop sleeve portion, so I ended up just making it a vest, and I did like I-cord edge and a fitted waist. So yeah. By the way, I'm like kind of stepping out of my superwash phase. I've usually only knit with that, but now I just want more rustic wool. I even like de-stashed some stuff and I really am in my rustic wool phase. I just like don't even want to knit with the superwash anymore. Yeah, that's just my evolution. So here's an original design of mine. It's a House of Cards themed sweater that is made with Sandness garn. And then here's the back. This one I started in March, but then I stopped because I messed up. And then I knitted up again, messed up again, had to unravel all the way up to here because the yoke was too deep. And I just like, I can't stand the deep yokes because I don't want my arms to go up and then the whole shoulder. I just don't want to do that. But it was worth it though. And I got some good use out of it. It's not tapered at all. Like I didn't do any decreases, but somehow it looks like it is tapered when I wear it. But the reason I didn't do decreases is because of the color work, and if I did decreases, it would be hard to get the color work over my shoulders. So anyways, so here's my Dagmar jacket. I'm really proud of this one. I will be making more. Okay, I will be making more, absolutely. And I made this with the Luna yarn. It's like Norsk wool. But yeah, I think I want to make it in a couple different colors, or at least one other color, and the Esther jacket for next year. This is my first Petite knit garment, and I really like this yarn too. It was just amazing to work with. All right, next is a series of hats. I'm not gonna show all. Oh, I found the strawberry hat. I'm not gonna show every single one because we would be here for a very long time. But here's most of them, I think. Okay, so here's the hats. We've got this Miffy one. Oh, we got one for my porcelain sweater. Here's the strawberry one, my House of Cards themed one, a Gigi Cat one, oh, another Gigi Cat one, and then 2 more with scrap yarn. But yeah. The reason I knit so many of these is because they're fantastic scrap yarn projects and they're really easy to come up with myself. Like, I didn't use a pattern for them. I just like worked as I go. And it doesn't take up that much space. So if you want to travel with a small project, then that would be a good idea. Okay, next thing is these Viking Skirts by Isager. The yarn's also from Isager, and I made 4 of them. So these are like my beginning of the year project. So here's the other one. I'm really zooming through this video. That's actually like not going to be that entertaining for people to watch, but whatever. And then this red one. Not much to say about it. This one took me only 5 days, but that was like, I don't know how that even was possible, but they usually take like 2 weeks to make, and they kind of did hurt my hand to make them because the yarn was like not stretchy and the cables were a little bit stiff. But yeah, look at all this the Viking skirt pile. I use them a lot. I really like them, but it is itchy, so I do have to wear it with tights underneath. Okay, now it goes in the back pocket. All right, and then we got my Lita bag. This is a pattern that you can find by Knit Pearl Ray, or Pearl by Ray. Pearl by Ray, I think, is the name of the designer. And so I got this little ribbon from Brooklyn General Store, this scrap lining. I lined some of my bags this year, and then this is just 100% scrap yarn. This was me using up some superwash merino wool. I used the whole skein to make this, so that's why it's like this weird square shape instead of like more high up. But yeah. Okay, continuing on, we got this project, which I started last year and I like didn't work on it for a year, and then I finally decided, you know, this is the time. This is 2025, we gotta finish this thing. So what I had it like, I had just the body and I had it steeked, and I was getting like kind of frustrated with the sewing of the steeks, but then I just like sat down and I did it. And this is by far my favorite Starmore design I've ever done because the sleeves are puffy, so I can actually put my arm with something else underneath it. And I took this one to Iceland and I got a lot of compliments on it. And then the buttons are these hand embroidered Korean buttons. So I have these on another project too, like a cable design that I made from last year. But I think that they look really cool because it's so colorful and they're all like different. So yeah. I have a lot of scrap yarn from her projects because I've done a lot of her projects, and they come with like I think 20% more yarn than you need. So I was like collecting all the ones that I had for the Oregon Spring. This is the Oregon Autumn. So she has Oregon Spring, which is in like a blue colorway. I wanted to make that one, and I have a list of all the colors I need. I'm not exactly sure the quantity of each I need, which is a little bit difficult to gauge if I'm gonna have enough or not. And the one thing that is a bit of a problem is like with the international shipping, and I haven't placed my order yet because she's out of stock in the very first color, like the very first blue that you cast on at the bottom. She's out of that, and it's a very prominent color throughout the whole piece, so I am gonna have to wait until that comes back. But I know the whole time I'm gonna be a little bit worried about running out of yarn and like, but I'm gonna say her dye lots are very consistent. So, and also like with all the different colors, I don't even think you'd be able to tell like, oh, this green is a different shade of green. It probably wouldn't be that noticeable. So yeah, I mean, look at that pile. It is very interesting. Okay, here's the stuff that when I stack them up, it seems like, oh, I didn't knit that much, but actually these take a lot of time to knit because they're knit on very small needles, like I think size 2 or 3 needles. Okay, let me button this up before I show you, but these are a series of Tamara Jordan Star-Crossed Knits patterns. So here's my Ophelia blouse. I love this one. I wasn't like, when I first saw this shade of green, I was debating back and forth between buying it, but I finally bought it at the Oslo airport, And then these buttons, I got them from Japan, so I just like sewed them on because I finished this in Japan, but I knit it mostly when I was in China. So yeah, I really love this design. The one thing that was turning me off from making it originally was I saw like a lot of people with a lot of gaping between the buttons, and I didn't really want that. I wanted it to be more closed. So I just added 10 buttons, I think. 10 or 9 buttons. So I will definitely be making this again. I'm a pattern repeater if you can't tell. I already have the pattern, so what's the big deal? And also, I have stuff in my closet that I have more than one of. Like, I have 2 of these black tops because I wear them like all the time. I have 2 white versions of this, but I mean, of course, I'm going to make it in a different color. Like, I'm not going to make it in the same color. All right, and then here is also the Rosamund top by her. I embroidered a little cherry on it because I saw someone on Instagram do it, and I was inspired by that. Because other than that, other than like the antique looking lace at the top, it's a pretty simple design, so I wanted something to spice it up a little bit. So I did in fact add that. All right, more tank tops. Okay, so this is the, oh my gosh, this is the Ophelia tank. It's just in this black colorway. Yeah, I had to redo the, I think both the neckline and the arms because the arms were too wide. Like, I picked up too many stitches, so it was giving like waves at the back. So I had to undo the whole thing, and it's kind of hard to undo the whole thing. It takes a lot of time because the picot edges, they take forever. The picot edges take forever. But I guess that didn't turn me off from making the pattern because I made it again in the long sleeve version. So here's that. This is with Knitting for Olive Pure Silk. Both of them are. Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't tell you guys. Okay, so the green one, the black one, and this one are Knitting for Olive Pure Silk. The Rosamund tank is the Lena yarn by Sandnes Garn. And I got that one in Korea, which I was surprised that they had it, but I like looked up the yarn store that had it to get that to have something to work on. Okay, so anyways, this is just the white version of the long sleeve bell sleeve Ophelia top. And I don't know why, but when I came home, I just like went to grab this, and for some reason it felt very wiry, because usually they feel really soft, but then I washed it again to see if it would like block wiry, and it still kind of blocked out wiry, and it's not as soft as the other one, even though like when I initially blocked it, it was really soft. I don't know what's going on. Maybe I have to like wear it more to break it in and to make it softer, but those ones are literally already soft, and this one was too, so I don't know what happened to that. Whatever. My mom said she may have washed it, but I'm not sure. But it's okay. It is okay. All right. Next are 2 projects by Kiko. So this one I started back, I think in 2024, but I didn't finish it. Like, I think I stopped here because it was coming out too big, and I didn't want it to be too big. So I finally sat down and finished it this year. I didn't even remember the needle size I used or anything, but I just finished it, and it looks so pretty. The lace details are really cool. And so okay. When I was stuck in Washington, D.C., I bought yarn to make another one of these, thinking I was going to finish this last year, but I didn't. But I had the yarn to make another one of them, so I went ahead and did that. And this is the blue version of it. And for some reason, even though I used the same needle size, tell me why this one came out shorter. I had to add another row of this lace design here to make the lengths match up, and I had to add like this part on the bottom and make the ribbing a little bit longer so they would be the same length. It was really strange, but that's okay. I wonder why that happened. Maybe, I don't know if it was my gauge or not, because I used the same needles and I knit them back to back. So, okay, anyways. So moving on, we've got these teddy bear patterns by Manga Knit. It's a free pattern, and it's actually really, really easy because it's knit flat, which shout out to it being knit flat, because knitting amigurumi is really hard when you have to do the double pointed needles, or like the circular needle with the magic, what's it called? Like, not magic loop. Okay, I don't even remember. Wait, is this coming undone? Oh no, it's not. Wait, is it? Okay, maybe this is a spoiler for my next project, but anyways. But yeah, so these are all scrap yarn projects. Okay, mostly the rest of this stuff is scrap yarn projects, so I'm just gonna like preface that. I put these little ribbons from old packages of clothes. So I usually keep, if I get a package and it comes with a ribbon, I usually keep that ribbon and I use it for something like this, or even the next project I'm going to show you. I'm going to show the scrap ribbon. And all my plushies that I make are stuffed with airplane pillow stuffing. So if you take like a long enough flight, they usually give you a pillow. And so I keep the pillow, I rip it open, and I just use all the stuffing from in there, because whenever you buy stuffing, it's like this big giant thing. I don't have room to have that big giant thing. So I just get my little piece of stuffing. It's free. It's eco-friendly kind of, because I'm reusing it. Because they would have just thrown it away. But now my teddy bears are filled with airplane stuffing. And also one of them is, this one is filled with Icelandic sheep wool that I found on the ground in Iceland. So I just like picked it up and stuffed my teddy bear in it. That's so special. Okay. Anyways, moving on to the other, like, this is what I was talking about when I was talking about scrap ribbon. So I made 2 of these stockings by Petite Knit. This one I haven't put the hanger on it because I want to go get one of the cool leather ones from one of the stores that carries it, that carries her like tools and stuff. But this is scrap felt that I kept. This is just a ribbon I got in Norway, so it's just hanging like this. I probably should have hung it the other way because I don't have hangers that go like this. They usually like stick out from the wall like this. So that's my bad. I'll do it next time on the other one. But basically this yarn was something that I bought in Japan because I wanted to make this Moby neck. The yarn shop owner told me that it was going to be too thick, and I was like, oh no, like I'm a tight knitter. Yeah, I was wrong. I was really wrong. This is really thick yarn, and I had no idea what to do with it. I had, I think, 4 or 5 balls of it, and I was so upset with myself. I was like, oh my gosh, this is just sitting in my closet, in my suitcase, and it's not enough to like actually make something with it. I even was trying to make a cable knit vest, but it was just, I mean, look how thick those cables are. It was coming out too thick, and I was not having a good time. And then finally I saw this pattern and I was like, I know what I have to do now. This is my first time making some sort of sock, like some sort of sock. So this part took me a while to figure out how to do. I had to watch a couple YouTube videos and like debrief and watch people's like Instagram videos of nobody like had the process exactly spelled out, but I kind of figured it out by looking at progress pictures. Okay, anyway, so back to what that yarn was meant for. This is the Moby neck. I got this yarn in Korea, but it's like an Australian merino wool. It's the nicest, softest merino wool, but it also kind of has a rustic feel. And on the back, I have this little tag from The Little Prince. It's in French though, but it's from Korea, so I don't know. This yarn's Australian, it's from Korea. My tag is in French, but it's from Korea. I just find that kind of funny. Okay, speaking of Korean patterns, this is a Korean mitten pattern. And what do I mean by that, you may ask? Well, I saw this design at one of the stores in Seoul called Linnea, and I was like, oh my gosh, that's so cute. So I bought the kit for it, and then the Korean shop owner, she was like, well, the pattern's only in Korean, is that okay? And it's just a printed pattern, like you can't find it on Ravelry or anything. And I was like, that is totally okay. I can speak Korean. I can figure this out. Yeah, so I had to watch a couple of knitting videos in Korean, and I had to like learn Korean knitting words for this. I don't actually speak Korean. I just know like some basic stuff, by the way. But I don't know. I thought that made it like really rewarding to figure out how to knit Korean patterns. And I also like learned a lot of words from that, so that's pretty cool. But I only have one. And the reason I only have one is because the wires of my Chaigu shorties broke. Both of them broke. Every time I try to knit mittens, I guess it's like kind of harsh on it. And so they broke. And now I have to wait for the other wires to come. And they're not cheap, by the way. They're pretty expensive. So yeah, the other one's just sitting here waiting. And I was trying to do like the long wire short needle thing. That doesn't work. Okay, I mean, when I'm trying to do the color work, there would always be this weird tensiony spot here. I just don't want to do that. I'm just going to wait for the shorties. I'm going to live my life in peace. But it has been a little bit not comfortable not having any projects to work on right now because I literally ran out of yarn. So I've just been sitting here doing my other hobbies like playing piano or going on walks. I've been productive in other ways though. So yeah. Anyways, back to more mittens that broke my knitting needles. We got these Matryoshka by Eleanor Morgenstern, but I did modify it. I added this rose and I added this headscarf to it. These are like my favorite mittens ever. I love Matryoshka dolls. I also took these to Iceland. These are so cute. And I love that her yarn, it gets so soft. Okay, I gotta rush to finish this because I keep getting interrupted. But anyways, so I have this orange bag that's made with scrap yarn and it has a lining inside. This lining was really, really hard to do because it's spherical, but it also has a little leaf. I think it's a free pattern, so you can probably find it on Ravelry. I will try to link it. I have 2 of these Ribka pouches, also scrap yarn. I have 2 of these Miffies, would you guess it, also scrap yarn. This is also a free pattern on Ravelry and with airplane stuffing. They also, the ribbon and the little decorations also from a package that I kept. And they look like winter and autumn, like so cute. Okay, anyways. Then I have an onigiri pouch, which is, say it with me, it's scrap yarn. And I used every single last piece of this white yarn to make it. And then I got this gray going on here. So that's why the strings are gray, because I ran out. But I love it so much. It's so cute. At first I was like, this looks not that good. I feel like I didn't knit it that well, but I'm actually kind of really in love with that. And then we got my first crochet things. They're Woobles, but they're Squid Game Woobles. The yarn for the Woobles is not the most like beginner friendly, I will say. My friend who actually knows how to crochet was helping me with them. It's not the best, but I actually did use the leftover yarn for the mouth of my Miffy, so I guess that came in handy indeed. Last thing, Pomporan by Manga Knit. Thank you guys so much for watching my video, and I'll catch you later. Bye! Okay, I know that was an abrupt ending, but thank you guys for watching my video. I'm really grateful for 500 subscribers. Here's my little pile of knitting in the back. I'm trying to like make a thumbnail with this, and we have like all the other ones, so thank you guys. I hope your knitting year was super productive, and I'll see you next year. Bye.